Hi, my name is Paul Pack, and I'm a writing teacher at Mr. Books Club. Now today we're going to talk again about the response to literature essay. Again, response to literature essay deals a lot with just stories or fictional events. Now, we're not going to be summarizing these fictional events. We're going to be focusing on the big ideas, the themes, the sort of important little messages that our author wants us to see through the story. Now, this video is going to have two parts. The first part, we're going to talk a little bit about how to approach reading the fictional narrative. Okay? What we should be looking out for, how we should organize our thoughts, and how we should probably structure our essay when we're ready. The second part will deal with a specific story that you at home are going to be reading eventually and writing an essay about. And through that story, I'm going to try to give you an example of how to really look at it, really approach this type of writing. Okay? So let's start with the first part. The first part is basically the form of it. Okay? They're giving you a short story. It's going to be about 2 or 3 pages long. It's not going to be very, very hard to understand. It's going to be pretty simple. But when you read, don't forget to always read very carefully and read with an attentive eye. Okay? Now, it's also a good idea before you start reading to pay very close attention to the type of question you're going to be asking. Okay? The questions are usually something like, is this a good title for the story? And why? Is this, what are the big lessons the main characters learn and explain? Right? Or, how does the main character change throughout the story? Okay? Those are the questions you're going to be dealing with in your essay. So maybe you want to look at that question really quickly before you read so that you have an idea of what to look for. Okay? So now that you have the question firmly set in your head, you're really focused on what to look for, start reading. Start reading the story. Look at it very carefully. Underline important parts. Okay. Now remember, the important parts are the parts that are going to probably answer the question. Okay? The parts that in the story show the answer that you're going to be writing about, okay, in your essay. Now, it depends on the question, but oftentimes you'll have a rough idea of what to look for. So if the question, for instance, is, how does the main character change throughout the story? You want to look at the parts or the points in the story where the main character's feelings change, or maybe the character learns something new, or the main character starts realizing something about him or herself, or about the world around them, right? Those are the points we're going to be looking for while we read. Okay? Those are the focus points. Those are the concrete detail, if you ever heard this word. Concrete detail are the quotes or the actual sentences that you see in the story, and they'll be your examples when you write your essay. Okay? I hope that's pretty clear. Basically, what I'm saying is look for the examples that you're going to be using in your essay. Remember, we're not going to summarize. We're just going to paraphrase these important moments and use them as examples later. Okay? So you've read everything. You have the question all focused, and you kind of have a rough answer. Do some kind of pre-writing, okay? Maybe take some scratch paper. Write down what you think was the theme and the answer to the question, okay? And then write down the important events. Just paraphrase or just kind of roughly write down what you thought were the important details, okay? So I'm you, and you're me. I'm sitting down to writing. I go, what was this story about? Okay, the theme was this, and I'm going to write it down. Oh, the theme was that, the theme was this, and it's a good idea, okay? You answer the question, oh, that's a good answer. I love that answer. That's a great answer. I'm so smart, right? And then afterwards, you start writing down quickly the details that you're going to use to support your question, to support your theme, what you thought the theme was. I don't know why I'm shaking my pen, but I'm doing that. It's okay. That's what we're doing. Okay, pre-writing is all about that. Okay, just organizing your thoughts so that you don't forget them, so that you don't lose track of the things you need to say. Now, Once you finally get down to the essay, okay, you're going to write your introductory paragraph. And your introductory paragraph will always include title and author. That's very important. Always do that, okay? You know the story. You know who wrote it. The graders know the story. They know who wrote it. But still, always write it down, just in case any confusion. And you give credit to the author, okay? Now, in the first paragraph, you write your introduction. You write the title and author. And quickly state what you thought the answer to the question is, or the theme. Basically, they're asking you for the theme, right? Okay? Write a good sentence, and then after your introduction, begin your body paragraphs, right? Deal with the details, okay? Paraphrase details and show me what those details say about your answer, how they support your answer, how they support your theme, okay? And at the end, when you write your conclusion, okay, your conclusion is just going to summarize everything again. Okay, this story shows that this, and this. The character learns this and this and this, and through her experiences, we all see this and this. Right? It's just simple summary of your own essay, not a summary of the original story, a summary of your own essay. Okay, it's simple. Now, if that wasn't clear enough, now we're going to part 2. Part 2 is going to deal with an actual story, a story that you're probably going to read. And this one's called Dancing Miranda by Diana de Anda. Very lovely story. It's about a girl who really loves dancing. Okay, she really feels an incredible joy from dancing and leaping and doing all these sorts of things, right? Now, to summarize it really quickly, what happens is the girl loves to dance, as I said, right? And she really feels great joy. And her mom is very happy. She supports her, and she goes to rehearsals and in practice, and you can really feel the joy that she shows, right? But sometime midway through the story, Miranda overhears her mother and her dance teacher talking. Now, her mother says that when she was a young child, she had a disability that prevented her from dancing, right? That kept her from dancing. Now, this kind of news really puts Miranda in kind of a sad or depressed mood. And suddenly, when she starts to dance again, she becomes sloppy. She can't really do what she's doing. Her mind is elsewhere. The sadness kind of bothers her, okay? Now, the teacher asks her, why? Why is this happening? What's happening to you? And Miranda tells her the reason, that she's sad or depressed because of her mother's disability, right? And the teacher says, look, try not to get that down. Don't bog yourself down with this, because your dancing makes her feel great, feel lovely. Everyone feels light and happy when they watch her dance, right? Okay. Now, Miranda suddenly realizes something, right? That her mother's wishes and hopes can be fulfilled through her, right? Through her daughter. So then suddenly Miranda feels great again, starts dancing, and her mother, her teacher, everyone is very happy again. Okay. Now, that was a rough summary. Now, again, you're not going to do a summary, but this is what basically the story is about. Now, notice, even during my summary, I was pointing to some of the major ideas or major themes. The themes, in this case, is probably that those sad moments, though things that happen to us that are bad, might bring us down, but ultimately we can become better people afterward. Now, at the end of the story, Miranda doesn't just dance for her own enjoyment, doesn't just dance for herself. She dances for her teacher. She dances for her mom, okay? And because of that, it not only helps her, it helps many other people, right? That's the idea. Sad moments can make us better, right? That's kind of our theme. Now, the question that they're going to ask you is, basically, how does Miranda's attitude about dance change throughout the story? At the beginning, she's very happy, but it's kind of a happy, maybe a little selfish happy, because she just gets joy by herself, right? And then later, she gets sad, right, because of her mother's problem. Then, again, she changes her perspective on dancing. She's very happy again. She starts dancing for everybody. Now, the dancing becomes a community thing, right? Everyone's all happy and dancing and stuff. It's great. That's pretty much answering the question and pointing to a theme, right? Bad things can happen, but those bad things can bring us to better conclusions, can bring us to better perspectives and attitudes about different things. So, I hope that's everything. If you're confused, give it a try anyways. Just practice. You need to practice, 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 practice. You'll get better at reading. You'll get better at speaking about themes and about pointing out important details. If you need more help, though, always go to MrBooksClub.com for more guides, for more videos about me talking to you here. Or you can call the office. You can talk to one of the teachers here. You can even talk to me. I like hearing from you. I wish I could hear from you. So, in conclusion, I think that will help you get along. If you need anything else, remember all the things I've said, okay? Great.